Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Brewing with Magic. Well, since I've been going back to work full-time, me and Brewmaster Will just haven't had that much time to do what we like to do, which is sit down together and make crazy fun decks that somehow still pull out wins. And that's exactly what we've gone and done today. But before I get into that, would you do me a favor and really quick hit that subscribe button? It is completely free, but it really helps support me, the channel, get us out to a much bigger audience. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know whenever we have new content come out. So let's get into what we have done today. We'll go ahead and start with how it started. How it started was Twitter's starting to dry up. I like to find a lot of fun decks there and either modify them a little bit or just bring them to you how they are with their raw power so that you, our brew crew, knows exactly what people are playing with and or just all the fun decks there are out there. But, like I said, it's drying up, so I asked Brewmaster Will to come up with something for me. And that's what he did. He came up with this. He loves mono green, so he went ahead and just kind of modified a few mono green decks that are already out there. You kind of know the shell. We, added a couple of Mage Duels, threw in a few Orin Reef Oozes, a little bit of a throwback to last season. Added 3 of this Sereth the Viper Fang, interesting card, 2 green, 2 colors for a legendary creature human warlock at 3/4. Other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. You can pay 1 and tap this. Untap another target creature or land you control. Kind of a fun card. I see what he was trying to do. And then 2 copies of Unnatural Growth at the top end. But the deck just seemed a little vanilla still, a little bit too much like what everybody's already doing. We just kind of splashed in a card here or there, and it was a little slow. So we decided let's modify it a little bit and get some 1-drops in the deck. So we ended up on this. So what did we do? We took out the Fangs, we took out some of the cute fight spells, and we added in 4 Death Bonnet Sprouts and 4 Willow Geist. So Death Bonnet Sprout, if you're not familiar with it, at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. Then if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, transform Death Bonnet Sprout. And then the other side on transform is 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile a card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on Death Bonnet Hulk. And then you've got Willow Geist, which is a 1 green 1/1 Tree Folk Spirit with trample. Whenever 1 or more cards leaves your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Willow Geist. When Willow Geist dies, you gain life equal to its power. So the whole thing is we're trying to get this to flip, and then we're going to start eating cards that our opponents are probably going to be killing. Nobody wants a Werewolf Pack Leader, an Ooze, or any of that on the battlefield. And we went ahead and, tried to make that interaction kind of fun and pump up the Willow Geist. But 2 things. 1, we didn't have a whole lot of creatures in the deck at the moment. And 2, this is the only way to really make Willow Geist get bigger, and it has to be flipped. So we were like, we're not quite there yet. Let's figure it out. And, Brewmaster Will had a great idea, of course, as always, and said, well, we need to add black to the deck and make it Golgari. Well, what does that do for us? What that does is now we keep the Death Bonnet Sprout, we keep the Willow Geist, and we dropped some of the fight spells, the inscriptions, and I can't remember what else, the Chariots, because they just weren't doing it in this particular deck, which is another thing I love. A deck that's not running Ren and 7, Chariots, no Alwyn's Epiphany. We're not even playing blue, but my point is none of those top-end big cards that you see in a lot of the meta decks. And we instead have added 4 Skyclave Shades. Every time you bring this back to the battlefield with its landfall ability, it is leaving the graveyard, which pumps Willow Geist. We also put in 4 copies of Egon's Death. We want both sides of this. It works for us either way. Early game, Throne of Death. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. You can pay 1 black and 2 colorless, exile a creature card from your graveyard to draw a card. Be careful with that one. You kind of want to do that after Death Bonnet Sprout has flipped if you have one out. If you don't, of course, go ahead and eat away. And then the front side is perfect for, because that triggers Willow's Geist also, but so both sides do. Egon's God of Death side, 6/6 Death Touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you can't, sacrifice Egon and draw a card. So basically, this is getting +2 every single turn. As long as you can keep this out, it can get out of control fast. And we have a really fun interactive deck that synergizes well, but it's still on the backbones of a really super strong mono green deck. So why don't we go ahead real quick, reorganize the cards the way I like to do it, and then we'll get into explaining what we've got going on in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so there we go. Now I've got it organized the way I want it. So we're going to start off with our utility package. We've got 4 copies of Blizzard Brawl, which is serving as our removal spell, or it just maybe get us in for that 1 last point of damage if need be, and 3 copies of Snakeskin Veil. Decks like this that can stop your opponent from a single target removal card early in the game can be absolutely huge for you winning a game. They might really need that one removal, be like, okay, I'm going to stabilize, or I'll be able to get to turn 6 for the Blood on the Snow, or whatever it may be, and this card is just an all-star. I almost want to find a way to put in a fourth one, but, you know, the Shuffler loves me, and if I have 4 Snakeskin Veils in my deck, I usually have at least 3 in my hand with no creatures. But that joke aside, let's get into the rest of the deck. So in the 1-drop slot, like I mentioned, we have 4 copies of Death Bonnet Sprout, which I did read a minute ago, and 4 copies of Willow's Geist, so we're not going to reread those. In the 2-drops, we have 4 copies of Skyclave Shade. Gets really, really annoying. I think I've said this in the past with decks where I've played Skyclave Shade, but just as a reminder, make sure that if you are going to be attacking with the Skyclave Shade and your opponent has the ability to block it, you do not throw your land till your post-combat main phase in case you want to replay Skyclave Shade. It is a bad habit that I have gotten into, and we need to break those bad habits. We have 4 copies of Rangers Class. I mean, this card is such an all-star. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, I love level 1 and level 2, but in this deck, I like level 3. It's pretty much our main draw card in the deck. We can draw with the Throne of Death, but that's far and few between. I like to get this to level 3 against any deck running board sweeps as soon as I can. There are turns where if I know they're going to be board wiping me soon, instead of throwing something on turn 4, knowing I'm just going to lose it all, maybe I just bring this to level 3, swing with the creatures on the board, pass the turn, and I'm ready to go when they board wipe to just refill and go again. And then, of course, we have 4 copies of Werewolf Pack Leader because it is an absolute amazing card. Once again, I love when people are going to be playing board wipes against you. I love playing Werewolf Pack Leader, hopefully on turn 2 and not losing it, or turn 3 with the Snakeskin Veil, attacking into our opponent with their little chump blockers every turn, and then instead of overextending with, say, an Old Growth Troll or anything in the deck per se, I like to go ahead and just use the Until End of Turn Werewolf Pack Leader has base power and toughness 5/3, gains trample and isn't a human ability, and get through those chump blockers and deal that extra damage before the board wipe. Sometimes I will throw an Old Growth Troll onto the board when I know they're going to board wipe because of the fact that I know I can play some tricks and get it back, but for the most part, I like to just keep this on the board and keep getting value with it over and over and over, which I believe you're going to see in the gameplay. In our 3-drops, we have the 4 copies of Egon's Death. Don't be afraid to throw this as the Throne of Death early game and just start filling up your graveyard. You're going to want it when you draw into another Egon or just anything. It'll already have the Death Bonnet Sprout like ahead of the game, so it can flip as soon as possible, and so on and so forth. We have 2 copies of Orin Reef Ooze. I mean, this gets +1/+1 counters. This gets +1/+1 counters. This gives everything +1/+1s. This can come out with them if we kick it. The Orin Reef Ooze put something on it. So many different reasons we can take advantage of that card, so I like having 2 copies of it. We have 3 copies of Old Growth Troll in the deck. It's too strong to not be playing, in my opinion. I don't have the 4th copy just because we are splashing black in the deck, so sometimes you don't hit that 3rd green. So I figured that was the card to cut when I couldn't find anything else to do at the moment. Let's go ahead and get into our land. We have 6 copies of Snow-Covered Swamps. We have 2 Lair of the Hydras. We have 12 Snow-Covered Forests, and we have 4 of the Pathways on green-black. So I really think you're going to like the gameplay. Don't forget to stick around to the end for the summary so we can do some adjustments and go over what you should and shouldn't be crafting at the moment. And without further ado, let's go ahead now and see some games. Royalty, huh? Royalty goes first. We got 3 lands, a Skyclave Shade, Snakeskin Veil, Ranger Class, and Werewolf Pack Leader. 2 of our lands are green, 1 is black, so this is perfect hand. So we're not mulliganing this at all. The only thing that can make this hand better is if we went first. So our opponent mulligans, and it looks like they're on mono white. So let's start off with one of our Snow-Covered Forests. We just drew another one. Are they going to attack and make a 1/1? I believe so. They do. Okay, so it looks like the play is Werewolf Pack Leader. I think it's Ranger Class, and the reason for that is a 2/2 will easily trade with this. I'm fine with that. Next turn, Werewolf Pack Leader with a Snakeskin Veil, and now they can't hit us with Skyclave Apparition. They can't hit us with Portable Hole. They can't do anything like that. They're going to do it again. Okay. So they get in this turn. That's fine. No blocks. Throw out the other green. Throw out the Werewolf Pack Leader, as we mentioned. Next. No attacks. End the turn. Unfortunately, I think the Snakeskin Veil is probably going to be going on the 2/2 now, just to block the Usher. We'll see. Our opponent's got a lot going on here. Elite Spellbinder is the play. So if they hit the Snakeskin Veil, we're a little bit in trouble there. And that's what they're going to hit. That's the problem, in my opinion. I know, it's weird. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm Snakeskin Veiling the 3/3. I guess it shuts them down from attacking this turn, at least. If I hit a land off the top, I don't know. Kind of in a weird spot at the moment. Skyclave Shade is the play. So here's another land off the top. We don't have any way to feed the graveyard. So that's a bit of a problem. I think we're going Ranger class. Powering up Ranger class. Swinging with everything. They're going to... Maybe I should have put the counter on here, because they're going to block the Usher into the Werewolf Pack Leader no matter what. Oh, no. What? No? Do they just start attacking every turn and making a 1/1 so they can keep blocking? Trying to figure out what the play there is. Consider... Okay. Now they play the... No. Oh, no. Okay, they're rushing us in the air. We have to start getting real aggressive, or this game's over quick. Delver of Secrets. Okay. We're getting low. Oh, they're coming in with everything. I think I chump block and save some of my life here, because they're going to be, if this flips, they're going to be coming in pretty aggressive. What do I do here? What do I do here? I can plus this and hit for what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then see what we draw. And this could be a chump blocker. I think I want to start getting real aggressive. We'll do that. Next, I'll attack. Attack with both. We'll put one over here. We'll put one over here. They're going to block one most likely. Let's see. Only one card in our graveyard, so we really just can't use Egon is the problem. Okay, they decided to take the hit down to 8. That being the case, I think now what we do is we throw the Lair of the Hydra out, we throw the Throne out, we throw the Willowgeist out, and we pass it back. If they hit, they would have won if we didn't have the chump blocker. Do they reveal? They do not reveal. We got Ranger class, Bolt, 2 of them fired up. We've got the Geist as a chump blocker. We've got a Lair of the Hydra that can be a 4/4 next turn. We can't draw, let's see. Yeah, we can't draw anything. So they're going to whiff on that Elite Spellbinder. Monk of the Open Hand, coming down. They're coming in with both. We're going to chump block the 1, take 4, go to 6. Gain a life, mill a land, draw a Werewolf Pack Leader. How do I win this? Do we just lose next turn? I think it just kind of depends on what I draw. 5, 9. We have 2 more tokens we can put down. I don't think there's a way out of this. 5, 6, 7. Depending on what they do with the Werewolf Pack Leader blocks. Let's go in with both of these. Let's put them all on the Werewolf Pack Leader. think we might win right here. I think I got it. Okay, then that's game. Woo! I think it was game either way. They could have only blocked 3 more damage. So, Boots, 796. Hello, Boots. When we go first, we have 3 lands, 2 snow-covered forests, and a pathway. Blizzard Brawl, Wolf Pack Leader, Werewolf Pack Leader, not just a wolf. 2 Orion Reef Oozes. I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Depending on what they're playing, we might throw the Wolf Pack Leader out on turn 3 to protect it with the Blizzard Brawl. Which would be awkward because we would need 3 green lands out. Sky, Clay, Shambling Gas. We're just going now. I mean, they're going to have removal, but it's not... Staying a turn behind, I don't think helps us right now. Here comes an Eye Twitch. Okay, well, unfortunately for us, we are going to be putting this out on... Hold on, what are we doing here? What is our play? I mean, we don't have any black cards anyways in our hand. I think we have to, even though I think I'm going with the Refuse. No, I want the Old Growth Troll out first, and then next turn, I can start using the Refuse. I don't think I attack here, because they'll double block. But then they'll lose their whole board, and I only use... Yeah, no attacks this turn. It's not worth it. They'll probably just remove it with a removal spell. We'll find out. But, okay, here we go. Here we go. They've definitely got a removal spell, right? So we'll throw the Refuse. They Soul Shatter. Okay. I'll put that over here. We put the token on the Werewolf Pack Leader and swing in with it. Now they can block until their heart's content. We're going to save this until they Blizzard Brawl. Or, I'm sorry, until they Blood on the Snow. We got to start thinking about Blood on the Snow now. So we don't want to overextend into this opponent at the moment. They're going to go get their Environmental Sciences. We're probably just going to... Oh, no. Wow. Okay. Okay, there's our black land we've been waiting on. So let's go ahead and swing in with both. We're going to definitely... Yeah, we're going to swing in with both. That's just happening. You get a token. We get a draw card. Okay, we're going to activate their ability. Get all of it that we can out of it. Deadly Dispute. So now we get to trample through for everything. So that their little block trick didn't work. I mean, they could oh, they're going deep, huh? So next turn they're gonna Blizzard Brawl us, and they might Blood on the Snow us, but what do they have to come back? A 1/1. Yeah, we'll just end the turn. I wish I would have 1 more mana untapped so that we could bring this back out at the end of their turn, but we're okay. Yes! Sergeant Brands. Howdy. When we go first, we have 2 snow-covered forests and a pathway. We have an Egon, we have Blizzard Brawl, a Willowgeist, and a Werewolf Pack Leader. Let's go ahead and keep this 7. We're going to start with Werewolf and Willowgeist. That way we can do the Werewolf Pack Leader on turn 2 if we want to. We could also Egon on the Throne side if we wanted to next turn. They have an Eye Twitch. We have a Trampler, but we can't really trample yet, so it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and throw that out on black, and let's get this Skyclave Shade out here. No attacks end the turn, and we'll start attacking with it every turn, and then we'll bring it back out. When we bring it back out, Willowgeist becomes bigger. Vanishing Verse takes care of all of those problems for us. We'll throw out a green land. We have nothing in the graveyard, so that doesn't matter. Werewolf Pack Leader, I guess, is the play. And let's get in for 1. Let's feed the graveyard. Whatever. What are we gonna do? Hold on to Egon the whole game? Next turn, our Blizzard Brawl goes live. Elite Spellbinder still goes live, so we're good. They have to pick it. We can still throw this spell. Yeah. Blizzard Brawl that. They're coming in. Oh, Willow Geist. We're gonna get Blood on the Snowed soon, but whatever. We'll throw that. We'll Blizzard Brawl you. Hiya! And then we'll go ahead and swing in for 5, just shy of getting to draw a card. I don't think we've milled any creatures now, so we can fire up the Werewolf Pack Leader next turn to get through them. So that's nice. Mill another land and draw another Willow Geist. We'll just go ahead and swing in with the 3/3. Okay, we'll activate you. Make you bigger. Get in for 4. Pass the turn. We could start, if they attack for some reason, we can chump block with one of these because they're not doing anything, and then we can draw. Because, yeah, it'd be nice to draw. So they go with the Environmental Science. So they've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess they could have Blood on the Snow this turn. I'm sure it's coming. Oh, well, those Geists don't do anything at the moment. Egon, huh? Egon will start powering those up, actually. So I'm not actually going to pump up my Werewolf Pack Leader. I'm just curious if they'll take the block. They might. Oh, they are gonna. They're going to Blood on the Snow next turn. Yeah, that's why they're doing it. So we're going to activate the ability because we're going to lose all of our creatures anyways. What? I have trample. I don't understand. What am I missing here? I do 4 to... Oh, no, because of this. Because of this. I wouldn't have hit them at all, so I don't know if it matters if they Blood on the Snow anyways, which is what they're... That's why we're just going to block. There's the blood. That's what we were expecting. So next turn, we're going Willow Geist and Egon. Well, no, we're not. No, we're not. So we need a land off the top. There's the land we needed. Let's go ahead and get that Egon out there. It's going to start coming in big, unless, of course, they have a removal. 2 cards left in their hand. It could have something. We'll see. They're coming in for 3. So that's interesting. Another Blood on the Snow. Okay, we get some triggers here. No, kitty cat. Stop scratching my chair. We don't want creatures, just because later on they could power up our creature. Ooh, there we go. I mean, they're legendary, right? Legendary bull. I was going to throw another one of those out. So we'll go ahead and throw out a Willow Geist. We'll swing in for 6. And then at the end of their turn, we'll draw a card. And it'll pump up the Willow Geist. And then when Egon, that'll be 2 more that it triggers. So, if they can't, let's see. What happens here? What happens here? What do you got, Sergeant Brands? Blood on the Snow, eh? So that resolves. I mean, we have another Egon. I'm not going to draw a card yet until after they do the trigger here. That resolves. We can still cast it. Let's go ahead and draw a card. We'll draw... I don't think it matters what I pick here. We'll submit you. Werewolf Pack Leader. So we'll throw the Lair of the Hydra. I'm throwing the Egon. And in the turn, does our opponent have another board wipe? Is that a single card removal? We also have the Lair of the Hydra to get through for at least 4. Oh, are they racing us? They're coming in for 6. Well, then they just lost the game. Yeah, good game. Good game. Let's go ahead and get rid of a land and a land. Throw this out. Fire you up for 5. Right? 1, 5. Yes. Pay 5. Auto pay. Come on out. Let's go ahead and swing in and take down Sergeant Brands. Good game. Okay, Brew Crew, that is going to do it for our Golgari aggro deck, and it is an interesting deck. I mean, it's no tier 2 deck. I mean, maybe it's tier 2. It's no tier 1.5. It's definitely the deck I'm going to grab to complete quests that have anything to do with casting green creatures, black creatures, or any other quest I can really complete with it, because it's fun. I really think Death Bonnet Sprout, Willowgeist, Skyclave Shade, and Egon, God of Death is a really neat package together. Another thing that I forgot to mention in the intro, I believe, is if Old Growth Troll dies and we have Willowgeist on the battlefield, it actually, when it hits the land, was in the graveyard and comes back out and triggers the Willowgeist. So just one more piece that interacts well together. I really like it a lot. What changes will I be making to the deck? To be honest with you, it's a lot of fun how it is. If I can find something, I don't know what it would be. Maybe one of the Egons, but I kind of like it. Maybe one more Old Growth Troll, but I might put in one more Snakeskin Veil, even though I said I don't want to. But for the moment, I'm going to leave it at 3. I am, however, going to get rid of one Snow-Covered Swamp and add one Snow-Covered Forest, because we are going to drop down one Lair of the Hydra for the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. That way we just kind of diversify our lands just a little bit. One Lair of the Hydra with the one Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Now I'll play test that more, and maybe I'll switch it back, because you know, you do win games with Lair of the Hydra being able to pump it big, but I think with all of the Blood on the Snow decks out there, Hive of the Eye Tyrant is just as valuable. So I'm gonna give it a whirl like this. Let's go over crafting real quick. Uncommons and commons, craft away. Of course, Willowgeist. If you don't own these and you are not rich on wild cards, I don't know if I'd go crafting this one. This is more one of those decks you give a whirl if you already have 4. If you have 3 and a few wild cards, craft that 4th one and give the deck a try, but it's not a safe card in my opinion, Brew Crew. Skyclave Shade sees play in a lot of decks. Go ahead and finish out your 4 if you haven't and you're close to building this deck. I think it's fine. Ranger class and Werewolf Pack Leader. Easy craft. Easy craft. You've seen them plenty. You know they're amazing. Egon God of Death. Maybe pump the brakes once again. So, you know, we've got 8 cards so far that if you don't own at least 3 of them, don't go crafting a whole suite. If you have the wild cards, craft the 4th one and have fun with the deck probably. Oran Reef Ooze is an interesting one. It could go either way. It's kind of in the middle. It's seen some play on ladder decks. It's also kind of niche. So, that's buyer beware on that one. It's up to you. Old Growth Troll, super safe. You know, you've seen it. And of course, lands are always safe. So I hope you had a good time with us today. Leave a comment down below letting us know whatever you want to tell us. We love reading them. Definitely let me know if I made any play mistakes. That's not a joke. I actually go back and look at them. When you're creating content like this, you can get tunnel visioned. You're thinking about a lot of different things. I'm checking the volumes. I'm checking the lighting. I'm making sure everything looks good. And you make misplays sometimes, or you see them right afterwards and you're like, what am I doing? So I do like to hear about those in the comments, and we do go back and look. So thank you very much. Please hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, super fast, but it really helps support me and the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you know whenever we have new content come out. And as always, until next time, have a blast in the arena.